Hey guys, and welcome to the Command Tower. We make EDH deck techs. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out our TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. If you use it, it helps us out a lot. Today's deck is a Toski, Bearer of Secrets deck. Toski is a 1/1, and he can't be countered, and he is indestructible, so he is very hard to kill, and he attacks each combat if able. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Now, there's a couple ways you could take this, but the way we're going to take this is getting one creature out and just putting a ton of enchantments and a ton of equipments on it, attacking for a ton of damage. And we're probably going to put them on our commander, since he is very hard to kill. Total price of this deck is $31.99. This is according to TCG Player. It does not include the price of basic lands. So, let's get right into the deck. First off, we got Ramp. Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic do the same thing, tap for green mana. Cultivate, search library the 2 basic land cards, put one on the battlefield tapped, other into your hand. The rest of these cards are going to be enchantments, because we have several cards that are going to benefit off of you playing enchantments, so this is going to help that. So, Font of Fertility, pay 2, sacrifice it, get a basic land on the battlefield tapped. Overgrowth, chain a land, whenever a chain land is tapped, get an additional 2 green mana. Gift of Paradise, when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and chain land has tap, add 2 mana of any one color. Wolfwillow Haven, chant land, whenever it's tapped for mana, you get additional green mana. If you pay 5 and sacrifice it, you get a 2/2 wolf. Weirding Wood, chant land, when it enters the battlefield, you investigate. Chant land has tap, add 2 mana of one color to your mana pool. New Horizons, chant land, when it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature control. And chain land has tap, add 2 mana of any one color. Wild Growth, chant land, whenever chain land is tapped, you get an additional green mana. Omen of the Hunt, flash, when it enters the battlefield, you get a basic land on the battlefield tapped. If you pay 3 and sacrifice it, you scry 2. And then Colony Heart Expedition. This is landfall, whenever land enters the battlefield under control, put a quest counter on it, and remove 3 quest counters from it, and sacrifice it, get 2 basic lands on the battlefield tapped. Then we got a couple creatures that we're going to throw a ton of auras and equipments on to make them huge. Aura Gnarlid, creatures with power less than it can't block it, and it gets +1/+1 for each aura on the battlefield. We're going to have a lot of auras, and this is probably going to be unblockable. Wandering Wolf, creatures with power less than its power can't block it. Once again, if we buff it up a ton, can't be blocked. Hallowgeist, same thing, creatures with power less than it can't block it, and has Undying, so it's going to be hard to kill. Ground the Lonely King has a kicker for 3, and if it was kicked, and it's battled with 5 1/1 counters on it. When it attacks alone, double its power and toughness on a turn. So, we're going to put a ton of auras and equipments on this, and we're going to get 1/1 counters on it. When it attacks alone, which there's not going to be a lot else attacking, it's going to become huge. And then Nylea's Colossus has Constellation. Whenever it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under control, double target creature's power of toughness until in a turn. So like I said, we're going to have a lot of enchantments in this deck, so it can double itself or another creature to just help you do a lot of damage. Then up next we got a huge category, which is all the auras and equipments that we're going to play and attach to our creatures. Fire Shrieker, equipped creature has double strike and is equipped for 2. It's basically make a huge creature and it's going to deal a ton of damage. Because Inquisitor's Flail, equipped creature will deal combat damage, it deals double that damage instead. And if another creature will deal damage to equipped creature, it deals double that damage to equipped creature instead. It's equipped for 2. Now we put this on our commander, he is indestructible. So, all that double damage to our creature isn't going to matter. Forgotten Ancient, whenever a player casts a spell, you put a 1/1 counter on him. Being your upkeep, you can move any number of 1/1 counters from him onto other creatures. So, you could just either use him as a creature to put stuff on, or you take the 1/1 counters from him, and you put it on your other really good creatures. Ancestral Mask, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each other enchantment on the battlefield, which should be a decent amount. Helm of the Gods, creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control, same thing. Blanchwood Armor, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. Blackblade Reforge, equipped creatures +1/+1 for each land you control. And if you equip a legendary creature, it's only 3, but otherwise it's 7. So we're going to equip this to our commander for only 3, and he's gonna become a lot bigger. Primal Bellow. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each forest you control. It's gonna make a creature huge, and we pretty much only have forests in this deck. Retreat to Kazandu. Landfall. Whenever land enters battlefield under control, choose 1, put a 1 counter on target creature, you gain 2 life, and you're gonna choose the 1 counter. Soul's Might. Put X1 encounters on target creature, works that creature's power. So you're doubling a creature's power, and it lasts, instead of just going away at the end of turn. Overwhelming Stampede is kind of similar. Until end of turn, creatures you control get trample, and +X/+X, wrecks the greatest power among creatures you control. So it's pretty much just going to double your creature's power and give it trample. Hydra's Growth, which is a really good card in the deck. Enchant the creature. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1 counter on enchanted creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number 1 counters on it. So it's going to slowly get bigger. Wolfear Silverheart has Soul Bond, and as long as he's paired with another creature, each of the creatures get +4/+4. So, you can make one other creature super big, or you can make him big too. And then, you can put a bunch of stuff on him. Vow of Wildness. Chained creature is +3/+3, has trample, and can attack you or a planeswalker you control. So you can play this on one of your creatures, and deal extra damage, or you can play this on an opponent's creature, and they can't attack you. Spider Umbra. Chained creature is +1/+1 is reach, she's total armor. Rancor. Enchanted creature is +2/+0 and trample. Whenever it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return its owner's hand. Then Prodigious Growth, which is huge. Chained creature is +7/+1 and it has trample. This is a great card, because giving it trample and making it that big is going to be super useful. And Mythic Proportions is practically the same thing. Chained creature is +8/+8 and has trample. Loxodon Warhammer. Equip creature is +3/+0 and has trample and lifelink. Has a equip for 3. The lifelink is super useful because even if they're not dealing damage to a player, and it's only a creature, you're going to get a ton of life back. Classification. Enchanted creature. When enchanted from classification enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature is +20/+20. This could finish the game off, if you can pull it off. Because you put this on one of your creatures, and if you give it trample, somebody could be dead. Bounty of Might. Target creature is +3/+3 till end of turn, and it's the same thing 3 times. So you can give a creature +9/+9 till end of turn, or you could buff several of your creatures. Then lastly, we got Haunted Cloak. Equip creature has Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. You just equip for 1. Then we got a couple cards that can make your creatures unblockable or close to unblockable. Canopy Cover. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. And enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent control. So it's going to make it hard to block, and also hard to kill. Prowler's Helm. Equip creature can't be blocked except by walls. It's equip for 2. And most people don't have walls, so it'll probably be unblockable. Vorak Battlehorns. Equip creature is trample. Can be blocked by more than one creature. So it's equip for 1. So giving it trample, and only blocked by one creature, is going to make sure you can deal a ton of damage to them. Tree Trap Bracers. Enchanted creature is +1/+1 as it can't be blocked except by creatures flying. So if they have no flying, it's unblockable. Trailblazer's Boots. Equip creature is non-basic landlock. It's unblockable as long as the defending player controls a non-basic land. It's equip for 2. And unless they're playing mono-colored, they are probably going to have a non-basic land. Fleet Feather Sandals. Equip creature is flying and haste, and has equip for 2. So, giving it flying is going to be hard to block. First up, we got card advantage. And the first 3 cards we have all do about the same thing. Verdurant Enchantress. Whenever you play an enchantment spell, you draw a card. Cetacean Champion. Whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you put a 1 counter on it and draw a card. Then Eidolon of Blossoms. Whenever it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. Now there's a lot of enchantments in this deck, so you're going to be drawing a lot of cards with them. Colossal Majesty. During your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you draw a card. and you'll have some pretty big creatures. Triumph Ferocity. During your upkeep, draw a card if you control the creature of the greatest power, or tied for the greatest power. Kind of the same thing. Return of the Wild Speaker. It's a little expensive in price, but it's one of the best cards. Because you choose one. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 till turn. So you're either going to draw a ton of cards, or you can buff up your creatures. Snake Umbra. Chain creature. Chain creature is +1/+1. It has whenever it deals damage to an opponent, you draw a card. And it has totem armor. Sixth Sense. Chain creature. Chain creature has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then Harmonize. Just draw 3 cards. Then we got some removal. Wilt. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. It has cycling for 2. Nature's Claim. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Its controller gains 4 life. Return to nature. Choose one to destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, or exile a card from a graveyard. Seal of Primordium. It's enchantment. You sacrifice it, you destroy target artifact or enchantment. Ancient Animus. Put a 1 counter on target creature control. If it's a legendary, then it fights target creature and opponent controls. Savage Swipe. Target creature you control is +2/+2 until end of turn. If its power is 2, then it fights target creature you don't control. And then Rapid Bite. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power. Target creature you don't control. And then Prey Upon. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. And these are all great because your creatures are going to be huge. And your commander has Indestructible. So whatever you're fighting, your commander is probably going to kill it. Lastly, we got lands. Open Palace. Taps are colorless. Pay 1, tap it. Add 1 mana of your color. If you spend this mana to cast your commander, enters the battlefield with number 1 encounters on it, equal number of times it's been cast in the command zone this game. Tranquil Thicket. Enters the battlefield tapped, it taps with green, or it has cycling for green. And then we just got 35 forests. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.